Hey guys, it is Joe. I gotta flatten my hands. Jeez, I just got off the old elliptical because I work out tough. That's definitely not how I'm starting this video. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm definitely not cutting it out though, just because I'm too lazy to. Joe back here again to cover last night's action in the NHL. Last night being the 28th of April. Enough BS. Let's get right down to it. We'll start with the first game of the day. Avalanche and Jets. And if you recall, I said I would not start Hellebuck, and they started Hellebuck. They started Hellebuck, and I couldn't believe it. And I was like, we'll see, we'll see, and we saw. Um, so let's not all just jump on the Hellebuck hate train, though. Let's be objective here. The Jets defense was unacceptable early on in the game. They allowed way too many chances for Colorado. I think the shots were like 12 to 22 at one point before the first goal went in for the Avs. Josh Morrissey has been a ghost all series. I think he scored in the opening game when they just lit him up. It's looking like it's gonna go exactly the same way it went last year, with the Jets dominate game one and then end up getting gentlemen sweeped. They were gentlemen. They allowed him to win the first game convincingly. Yeah, dude, the Jets. I will say the Middlestat pass was amazing from behind the net for Lehkonen. Lehkonen has 4 goals so far. And Middlestat has 4 assists to start this game 4 overall in the series, of course. The Jets did have a miniature surge after that Avalanche goal, which led to a Nate Schmidt goal. It was a real snipe. It was a good shot. Schmidt was on Middlestat during that first goal, so we kind of made up for it. That's kind of why he decided I need to do this. But Schmidt, very, very good shot from the point. This is what we expect to see from Morrissey, but we got it from Schmidt. We take it anywhere because we want the Jets to win, but we'll see. And Colorado challenged it for offside, and as the announcers were saying, usually when you challenge for offside, you're pretty damn sure it's offsides because you know the consequences. And Colorado suffered those consequences. Um, it was a poor coach's challenge. It was not offside. I didn't. I guess I saw why they might think that, but not really. In the Jets, that's when you need to score on the power play, capitalize on the team's mistakes, and you didn't do it. You did not. I mean, come on. I don't care how good their penalty kill is. You have to have more momentum going into that power play following this situation. You just scored. You just tied up the game. You got your momentum back. You got your mojo back. And no. Um it's ridiculous. They had their best good chance, or I'm sorry, next good chance off of a Miles Wood turnover. Nemesnikov had a great chance taken away, front net presence by Gorgiev. Very, very good play from Gorgiev. He's actually been very, very solid. I was not familiar with your game, Gorgiev. Jeez, I really toasted him after game 1, didn't I? Oh, he heard. He watched the video. He totally watched it and just decided to stone Nemesnikov there. And then Mittelstadt answers again with another excellent chance. Hellebuck does get this. All he had to do was lift the puck, and it would have been in the back of the net for Casey. But I love to see the production for Mittelstadt, seeing how he went so long in his career without even eking a playoff game. And then Colorado power play, and this is far more effective than the Jets power play. Lehkonen, Nikushkin, Makar, all excellent on that goal. Obviously Lehkonen was just a secondary assist, but damn, was that a great pass to Makar, and then obviously Makar's the shot, and Nikushkin up close. Jets special teams, shake my head. And then obviously, so that means that Lehkonen had the first goal, Nikushkin had the second for obviously the Avs, and they have scored in each game so far. I don't know about you. I would not have guessed this. I said it last game, and it continues. Lehkonen owns Hellebuck. I don't know where I was going with that. And then the third goal, Adam Lowry. I've been glazing you this whole series. You turn it over in your own end, and Makar coast to coast. It was a real impressive snipe from Makar. Makar can shoot the damn puck. Oh my god! And it threw traffic. Lowry, it was a bad turnover. I don't think anyone would be talking about it though had Makar not scored, and the defense was back for Winnipeg, which was embarrassing for them, but compliments to Makar. Unbelievable. They are now up 3-1. I'm pretty sure. Maybe no, they're up 4-1 at this point. I totally missed something. I missed a goal. Unless I think I'm forgetting one after Makar. Oh, it was Nikushkin's no, Nikushkin. No, Nikushkin gets a second after Makar. When does that go? Oh, I didn't write it down. Oh, it's because it was the power play again. The power play comes through again, point blank assist for Nikushkin. And Lehkonen had an assist on that. Yeah, it was just a strong power play for the Avalanche again. Surprise, surprise. And that was to wrap up the third. So that was Nikushkin's second goal of the game, and fifth goal in the series, I think. Yeah, it has to be, unless that was six. Does he have seven total in the series? No, he has six total in the series. Okay. Um, then they finally put in Brossois. They learned. I swear to God, if Brossois saves the day, Game 5, I'm gonna cry so much. It's gonna be because Hellebuck is 2-10 in his last 10 playoff start or 12 playoff starts. Save percentage of like 87%. Not good. Hellebuck has been terrible. Um, Regular season goalie, clearly. At least now that I see these stats and get some evidence here. We are not. I am not making the mistake again in being this confident in Hellebuck going into the postseason. Um, no. Another negative for the Jets. I'm pretty sure Nemesnikov got injured. A lot of stuff was happening yesterday. I recall seeing him go down. His ice time was the least from the offense, but because I'm just trying to remember. I'm like, I think he got injured. It was least from the offense, but not by much. So I think it was late in the game when he got injured because I did watch. The only part of the game I was able to watch was the end of the third. I was listening to the rest, and I think I saw him get injured. So we'll check on Nemestikov. Schmidt almost got a second goal, sniping from the point. The pressure was good in the third period from the Jets, but it was far too late. Obviously down 4-1. And Nikushkin gets a hattie on the empty net. Brossois did allow 0 goals. It was only 5 Colorado shots, but we'll take it. Brossois. And yeah, the Jets are down 3-1 in the series, going back home. Whiteout's got to come in clutch. Whiteout can come in clutch and hopefully give them some momentum. I can see the Jets making a push, but they're going to need more from the defense. They're going to need more from Morrissey. Connor, we're going to need way more from Connor. Scheifele was quiet this game. The Stars need to step up like they have been in Vancouver, which we'll get to later, obviously. Don't forget, or we'll get to right now. But don't forget how bad Besser and JT Miller started. Pedersen is still pretty bad, but those two guys came alive, and the Canucks are up 3-1 in the series. So we hope to see the same from the Jets, especially considering Nate Schmidt and Mason Appleton were kind of their best players. Which is like, what? Friggin' show up, boys. Come on. So we very well might be discussing a Jets elimination next time we talk about them. Very, very disappointing, especially considering people had them beating the Avs. I didn't. I had Avs in 6, but looking like it might be 5. But hopefully Whiteout shows up. The playoff atmosphere in Winnipeg is outstanding, so we will see. Everyone's on Hellebuck's case. Everyone. I mean, no one is talking about Saros right now. Saros let in the first shot on goal in a consecutive game again. Brock Besser, one-timer. Great pass from Miller across the ice, but it can't be a thing that you keep doing. And now, even if both of the goals were brilliant, I kind of forget the goal from game 3. It's in his head, and that's not good. Saros needs to be better. We have, what is his name? Shelovs in net for the the Canucks. So they downgraded from Demko to DeSmith, who played his mind out in Game 3, and we're like, is this a downgrade? And then DeSmith got injured. So and the thing is, they both finished the game, so I don't know what's going on in Vancouver. It's very, very confusing. But Shelovs was in this game, and he gave up a quick one, unfortunately. Jankowski on the redirect. Remember last game we said Jankowski got hurt, and I think people were underrating how severe, if he's out, that injury might be. Well, we saw what would have happened. Well, not really, but he scored immediately in this game, so I guess I was kind of right. Lazon's pass, So Jeremy Lauzon, I hate that. He was so bad on the Bruins. Um, but Pettersson almost blocked it. If Pettersson blocked it, then I mean we wouldn't know. We wouldn't have known a goal was coming from Jankowski, obviously, but would have been good off paper for Pettersson, saving a goal, and that's something that he needs. Um, let's talk about the defense for the Canucks. The Canucks had a bad game. This was a horrible, 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 awful, horrible game for the Canucks. They don't look like they know how to play playoff hockey. The defense giving up so many shots. I can't believe I didn't write down how many shots the Predators had here. They had all right, so they had 30, which isn't crazy, but it was 30 to 21, and it was only 14 for the Canucks in the chances that the Predators were getting. It was a bad game for the Canucks. They you have to know that they went into this game with more of a defensive mindset, especially from I don't know the name of the coach. Sorry, I don't. Oh, isn't it? I don't know his name, but I know he's Jack Adams nominee. And well deserving. He probably said play a more defensive game, and they did not. They definitely did not. The chances that they were getting were really good on offense, but I mean, you have Shelovs in there. There's no way the emphasis was on offense this game. It was on defense, and they just didn't show up in the defensive end, in my opinion. Quinn Hughes has been very, very poor as of late. Um, he kind of took over that role for Besser and JT Miller, who have kind of come alive. JT Miller, like I said, with that assist on a Besser goal to start the game. But let's get back into what happened in the game. Nyquist piercing shot, a breakaway, a 2-on-1 for the Predators. Like I said, no emphasis on defense there. All the Canucks are up near the net to allow that to happen. Um, and then Miller and Pia Suter almost answer immediately. It was brilliant. Um, Miller right to the net. He's down. I forget who was holding him down from the Predators D, but they had him, and Miller like looks back behind. I think it was Carrier. It was Carrier, and then Miller looks behind him and sees Pia Suter on the ground. He scoops it to Suter, and Suter hits the crossbar. Suter, you gotta get that in. I mean, I think were it a player like Besser or even Petter. I know we've been janking on Pettersson a lot, if that's even a word. I think he gets that in. Suter did not, unfortunately. So we talked a lot about the Canucks' depth, but this is a goal that I think most of the guys on the team would have had. So unfortunate for Suter, not a tear against him, but definitely could have made that game a lot easier for the for the Canucks. It made it look a lot less bad about how this game turned out for them. Shelovs gets a bunch of great saves at the end of the second period. There very few chances with Canucks all game. They were prime chances, but they were lighting up Shelovs, and he was just all over it ever since those letting in the Nyquist and the Jankowski goal. He was there. Speaking of people who aren't there, though, we need Ryan O'Reilly to do something. He has been very, very quiet this series, especially for a guy of his caliber. Stanley Cup winner. Finally got the Leafs past the first round last year. I don't know what's more impressive. Knock on wood. But I mean, that's not even jinxing the Bruins, is it? I mean, the Leafs lost 7 consecutive first rounds in a row or something like that. I think maybe even more, and Ryan O'Reilly got past it. So there's the joke. But O'Reilly, he needs to have his moment. He is a clutch playoff player, and he is not showing it in this series. Let's talk about the Forsberg goal. Very controversial. It could have been a kick. I think it goes 50-50. But let's talk about Shelov's save on Yossi first. Yossi, who's also been pretty quiet in terms of flashy plays this series. He has been there defensively, but he hasn't had many flashy Norris Trophy plays like we think either him or Quinn are going to win the Norris. Um, he has a great chance right in front, and Shelov saves it, and unfortunately Shelov was out of position saving that, so the Forsberg kick goes in. I can't believe they didn't challenge it. I would have. I don't think they challenged. Maybe they did. I don't even remember. I would have just for a 50-50 chance because we're down 3-1, but yeah, can't really blame Shelovs on that one. And then goalie pulled quite early for the Canucks. I would say with like maybe 3 minutes left. Lindholm, great pass for Besser down near the net, and Besser just tops it in. Besser's second of the game, and then Colton Sisson's empty net toast. if you didn't watch the game, you're probably pretty blown away right now. Hughes tried to block it with his stick. He didn't even get the block off that he wanted. Sissons just ended up hitting the post regardless on that. So good body position from Hughes. But I mean, Sissons, that needs to go in. You just Stefaned it as well because guess what? Brock Besser hat trick. What a goal. Oh my God. He got his own rebound. When I think he was standing behind the red line when he deked that in around Saros, like behind him. Unbelievable goal for Besser. I think Miller had another assist on that. Whew, crazy, crazy game for Brock Besser. The only Canuck that showed up to me really, and Miller. I'm sorry. Lindholm also had a decent. Okay, so maybe a few did show up, but but definitely Besser taking this series seriously. He's a guy to watch out for when they take the series back to Vancouver. And then only a minute into overtime, Connor Garland finally does something. Great pass from behind the net for Lindholm in the slot. Score a minute in. Saros, you cooked. He allowed the first shot on goal in the game to go in, and he allowed the first shot in overtime to go in. So Saros, something needs to be said here. I don't think you replace him for game 5. Maybe you do. I don't think so. Um, hasn't been as bad as Hellebuck, and the backup for him isn't nearly as good as Hellebuck. I forget his name. I know it is it is a top tier backup. I think it begins with an A. I forget his name right now, but yeah, Nashville historically has pretty good goalie tandems. But because don't forget Saros is backing up friggin' Rene. But inexcusable collapse for Nashville. Vancouver heavily outplayed again and won. That happened last game. Remember, I'm pretty sure they only had 12 shots on net. They did end up with 21, but it was all late, in my opinion. It wasn't consistent throughout the game. So yeah, I mean, we're looking at clutch saves missed by Saros and quick start saves. Those are the ones that are burners, real burners. Like last minute in the period as well, he didn't allow any in the first or second, but obviously the third. 6 seconds left. I don't even think I said that for that Besser goal. Um, Times when Saros needs to make saves, he's not, and that is the issue. So game 5, going back to Vancouver. It is a must-win for Nashville. They're down 3-1 in the series. Oh, most series are 3-1, huh? Did any tie up? I don't know. I really don't think any series are tied at 2-2 right now. Um, and the only one with a chance to, I'm pretty sure, is the Stars. So kind of quick first round for a lot of these teams. Hopefully, hopefully they all close it out just because that would mean the Bruins also close. Anyways, but we'll see. We'll see. We hope for the Bruins. We hope. Um, but yeah, let's see if Nashville can make this game interesting. I'm sorry, series. Besser 8 shots on goal. He, like I said, he wanted it. He really wanted this, and like I said, they only had 21. So what's that? The rest of the team had 13. So one more than last game, right? Brock Besser showed up. He was one of the only Canucks. There were some very good plays from the other Canucks, but not consistent. Let's move into Washington because this one might take a while. I mean, who's shocked? Is anyone shocked? I'm not shocked. I'm disappointed. If this doesn't say this, the end of the Caps, we'll discuss that in a second. Nick Jensen and Rasmus Sandin came back and immediately made their impact negatively. Jensen right to Kako in the slot goal, like 3 minutes into the game. Inexcusable. I don't know. That's not a lingering injury thing. That's not coming back too early. That's being out of it, not playing hockey for a while, and it was a terrible, terrible goal by Nick. Sorry, turnover and good goal for Kako. Kako definitely wanted to wake up in the series. He's digressed a lot over the past couple of years. I feel like it was him and Lafreniere like in a battle. Who's better? And he fell off, and Lafreniere took off. So good goal for Kako. But Strome almost answered right away. So thank you, Dylan Strome, for giving me something to almost be happy about. But Chesty, woof! You tried your best, Strom. You tried your best. Great save by Shesterkin. And then almost another Kako break. If it was anyone other than LaPierre falling back, it would have been a Kako breakaway because Caps, you slow. you a slow ass team. LaPierre isn't that slow, and he was able to stop the breakaway, high contested chance, but still a pretty dang good chance for Kako. Lindgren makes the save. And then Wilson, Tom Wilson dive. Dude, it's still interesting to see Tom Wilson as a really serious offensive player, right? Because for so long he was just like a bully, but he has come into his own as a scorer, as someone who you can count on to score, kind of like Marchand. The difference between Wilson and Marchand for the longest time was Marchand could score, Wilson really couldn't. Wilson kind of turning into Marchand. As much as I hate to say it, because I freaking hate Wilson, and I obviously feel strongly about Marchand. Um, but yeah, so great save from Shesterkin. He was not able to make a great save on a Faravari goal. Great thought from Faravari falling in. He had no one in front of him. A clean shot straight to Shesterkin. I forget who passed it to him, but he knew Faravari was open and took advantage of it. So good job, Faravari. You've had a really rough postseason, so take this cookie. Take it. There you go. And the rest of your defense didn't show up, being Sandin and Jensen. Carlson, we'll get to Carlson. Carlson had 28 minutes, actually. This is what I say later. He didn't really do much this game, unfortunately. I really like John Carlson. He led the league in ice time this year, and he is old. 28 minutes again, even with Sandin and Jensen coming back, probably because they knew that they were going to be asked after like the first couple minutes. But let's talk about how the Rangers got the lead back. Great passing. Before the Trocheck goal. Zibanejad again. I was saying while I was watching, I'm like, don't be Zibanejad and Trocheck. Don't be Zibanejad and Trocheck. It was Zibanejad to Trocheck. I feel like 4 players for the Rangers touched that puck like within the 2 seconds before it went in the goal, and then it went to the slot for Trocheck. So great passing, great positioning for the Rangers on their power play, which again, it was Nick Jensen who put them on that power play with a knee-to-knee hit on Adam Fox. No discipline from the Caps. We said this from game one. No discipline. I think we said it for the Rangers too. The Rangers learned discipline. They were disciplined for the rest of the series. The Caps were not. And another example of that is Tom Wilson went to the box right after this goal for roughing again Adam Fox. Why do we all hate Adam Fox here? Like what are we? I think maybe they were targeting him. I don't know. Did they really think they were going to come back from down 3-0, even if the Rangers didn't have Adam Fox? I don't know. Adam Fox gets a little more rest now, though, clearly with the sweep. But then they go right back to the box, and pisses me off. It really pisses me off. I will give one compliment here for Nick Jensen. He had a great shorthanded pass to Mallenstein for Mallenstein was eking past Panarin. Panarin easily could have got a stick on it, but Jensen made it so. He made it so that couldn't happen. So great pass from Jensen to Mallenstein. Obviously did not score, unfortunately. But Shesterkin. So are you shocked? Lapierre, however, beat him. So a good game for Lapierre. We like Lapierre this game. He shoots, not in, backhand, scores. Got his own rebound right in front of Shesterkin. Beautiful goal for Lapierre. Kind of happy that's going to be the Caps' last goal for the season. I should do that. The last goal for each team in the season slash postseason. That'd be cool. See which one's the best. Lapierre's is going to be up there, though. Definitely top 10, I would say. And I haven't even seen most of them. So, actually, I have, I guess. But about half. Anyways, we're moving on. Zibanejad, scary. Great passes to great opportunities, scary chances. And I wrote that down before watching him assist on a Panarin goal. Oh my God. So Panarin's been pretty quiet, right? Panarin hasn't been scoring like we thought he would. He scored in the opener, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's back." He hasn't done much since then. But Zibanejad, he has been filthy. That's got to be 5+ assists for him so far. I think maybe 6 or 7. Zibanejad has been nasty, looking like himself. They do have a week and a half off here, so we'll see if that carries over. Obviously, Zibanejad hasn't been the most consistent player over the last couple of years. He kind of fell off, but this is what we needed to see from him in terms of Rangers fans. I'm not a Rangers fan. I just said we because And then guess what? How are the Caps gonna do this? They're down 1 goal. How are they gonna be able to tie it up? Not when you're killing a penalty with 3 minutes left in the game. Rasmus Sandin. They killed him. They killed him. Obviously, they don't have TVR, by the way. I forgot because Rempe's a dirty ass son of a bitch, and they didn't suspend him. And fuck Rempe. They didn't suspend Rempe. No TVR. I forgot to put that in. By the way, that was just random. But so they have to pull Lindgren, and when they pull Lindgren, it turns into a 5-on-5. And Lindgren was like, "Oh, should I go? Should I come back?" Because the Rangers kept getting possession of the puck. Lindgren finally goes in, and they immediately get an empty net goal. Jack Roslovic, and Lindgren breaks his stick, pissed. I don't blame Lindgren on it. I mean, you're on the PK. You're on the fucking PK. They were so undisciplined, dude. Now it's going into an explosion. Ovechkin, you suck. Are you kidding me, dude? 6 shots on goal the whole series. 0 this game. 0 shots from Ovechkin. 0 assists. 0 goals. They didn't have an answer for Ovechkin. Ovechkin didn't play his game. He wasn't where he was usually on the power play. He was mixing up his game. He wasn't doing shit. TJ Oshie taking a penalty this game. Where was Oshie this whole series? I don't remember talking about one good chance from Oshie. Oh, I remember one good Pacioretty chance I talked about. I also remember Pacioretty taking some really bad penalties. So already the veterans, other than Jordan Carlson, for the Caps, just horrible, horrible series. This was a series in terms of the Caps led by John Carlson and their youth. Lapierre, great. Connor McMichael, great. I really can't think of any more right now. Milano was invisible. I was excited to see Milano in the playoffs. He didn't do much at all. Let's look at more of these guys. Strome had good playoffs. Protas had a decent playoffs. Dowd was invisible. Wilson was good. I'll give him that, but he did take a stupid ass penalty, so I'm mad at him. Malenstein wasn't really that good. Abe Kubel, I didn't even know he was playing. Jensen, awful. Alexiev, Sandin, awful. Faravari, awful. McIlrath, was all right, but I would have really liked to see him kick Rempe's ass, and Carlson was great. So again, we didn't see a Rempe fight, which why? Why would you not do that? Why would you just let this guy run around doing whatever the hell he wants? I don't get it. I don't understand. You are the Washington Capitals. You have been known to be a physical ass team, and you're saying, all right, kill our players, kill TVR. Do you remember when Tom Wilson slammed Panarin a couple years ago, and it caused 99 penalty minutes in the first period of the next game because the Rangers kept fighting him? Where was that? So Rempe does the same exact dirty ass shit. Maybe not as dirty, but and gets ejected, doesn't get suspended like Wilson got suspended for that Panarin thing, and you guys just do nothing. Caps, you suck. Go to Galveston. You don't deserve it. The Penguins, the Red Wings, the fucking Devils would have put up a better fight than you guys. You were absolutely atrocious. The Devils, the Ducks, the Blackhawks, the Jackets, the Senators, the Sabres, the damn Nordiques, the Utah Yetis would have put up a better fight than you guys. That was horrible. Unacceptable, inexcusable. So what do the Caps do in the offseason? Give up. It's over. UFA's Pacioretty, get him out of there. He might retire, honestly. He looked atrocious. Very bad season for Pacioretty. I would have liked to see him do well, but I'm fuming right now. So he's probably going to retire. He can't play anymore. RFA's Connor McMichael, sign that man. He is part of your future. He has potential to be a middle six winger. Abe Kubel, UFA, not really a big deal. That's it for expiring contracts. So what do you do if you're the Caps? I don't know. I think Backstrom is not going to come back. I don't know his contract situation, but that opens up some money. Because Kuznetsov leaving opens up money. Mantha leaving opens up money. They really could use a guy like Kuznetsov and Mantha, huh? But if you're the Caps, get younger. maybe get rid of Oshie. As much as I hate to say it, because I have liked Oshie over the years, get rid of Oshie. You need to rework your defense. You need to get younger. Um, you need to get someone on that center. Actually, no, keep Dylan Strom. Dylan Strom's nice. It's Dylan Strom, Ovechkin, who you have on the other wing. You need to get a right winger. Um, yeah, it's just I don't really know. The Caps are really just looking like they're gonna be mid for quite a while here. I'm just very, very disappointed in their effort because they didn't want it at all. Um, let's talk about the last game. Who would have thought that the most defensive game so far and the first shutout would be between the Oilers and the Kings? Definitely not me because I gave both goalies a ton of crap after the first couple goals. Skinner. Ooh. So the Kings put in it was a tale of goalies this game. The Kings put in David Riddick. So Cam Talbot got the axe. It looks like they might stick with Riddick. He allowed 1 goal on 13 shots. Yep. So another good game similar to the Canucks game where the team with the fewer shots significantly won the game. The Kings had 33 to 13 shots. I feel bad for the Kings. Um, before this game, every period had at least 1 goal in it, mostly probably multiple, but there was only 1 goal in the whole game. So defensive showdown, good goaltending, all around. Riddick really didn't have too many chances to make some saves, but I mean, hey, if you're making a couple saves on McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman these days, I mean, you're doing a good job, right? The only scorer was Evan Bouchard on the power play. Again, the Kings PK remains weak, and that was the only goal that they had. And it was like I said, McDavid could have one-timered it, pass to Bouchard. Bouchard scores. That was a weak one, I think, for Riddick, but other than that, he was solid. I will say that I'm a little concerned about McDavid. So far it's working out. I thought they were going to sweep the series, so obviously I think it's a high mismatch in favor of the Oilers, so that might be why McDavid's getting away with this. However, I think his pass first mentality is getting out of hand. He is making brilliant passes, brilliant plays, but you need to know when to shoot the puck. And I don't know if McDavid knows that anymore. It's the same kind of thing with Kucherov. Not entirely with Kucherov, because McDavid's been doing this all year, and Kucherov just hasn't really been scoring in the playoffs, been getting some assists. But McDavid has been just not shooting the puck. He has 1 goal. And it was a scuff. I mean, if you pass that, you're an idiot. But I'm hoping McDavid's pass first mentality won't come back to bite him. I think it's going to at least a few times, if not in the big game, like where they get eliminated. Hopefully McDavid's not the reason. That would be pretty bad, but it's obviously he's trying to work on his passing game. It has worked, but at the same time, these are the playoffs now. This is when you take all the things you've been working on in the regular season and utilize them in the postseason. And we know you're a goal scorer, McDavid. You got to, I think go in a little more. Corey Perry's 200th playoff game, first time and probably last time this series. At least we'll say his name because he hasn't done shit. Very, very I don't want to say poor addition because it's not like he did anything wrong, but pointless addition so far for the LA Kings. For the Edmonton Oilers. Weak game all around from them. The only stat above 3 in terms of shots or hits or blocks is Henrique with I think he had 5 hits or something like that, maybe 6. So good hitting game from Henrique, but that's not what we expect from him. That's what we're paying him for. That's what we traded for him for. So wasn't impressed at all. I was mostly in terms of non-goaltending impressed with Arvidsson and Fiala. They were getting really, really good chances. Kempe and Kopitar were pretty quiet. Doughty rocked Kulak. Doughty was a presence on defense. He was a big part of the reason they only had 13 shots. He was physical game, not too many hits, but you could just tell he was really asserting himself. And Doughty, good goal. Good game, Doughty. So credit to Drew Doughty. And we already went over the goal. There's no specific chance I even want to highlight here for the Kings, other than like I said, a couple really good chances for Fiala and Arvidsson. Well, all I need to say is Skinner stood on his head. I mean, every every chance they had, he saved. I mean, shit. They didn't really have any like he didn't have any like flashy, oh my God, I can't believe he got that. But I mean, with the shots on net, and there were quality shots, there were quality. Nothing crazy, but quality. I figured something had to have gone in. Very, very great night for Stuart Skinner. This is all the Oilers needed. All the Oilers needed was consistent goaling. I don't know if the Oilers have ever won a playoff game like this. Like, as far as I can remember, obviously Grant Freer back in the day probably did some crap like this, but the Oilers have always needed goaltending, defense, especially goaltending, and maybe some depth score. I just especially goaltending, and on a day they called up Jack Campbell too. They called up Jack Campbell. Maybe the maybe Skinner was like, oh, they calling him Campbell. Made some crazy ass saves, but great game from Skinner. If he can stay consistent, I don't think he can, but if he can prove me wrong in that, then they can make a deep run. This is what they needed. Um, yeah. So good job, Stuart Skinner. S tier game, beautiful, beautiful performance, and let's see if he can carry it into a sweep. I'm sorry, gentleman sweep. In Game 5 in Edmonton. Yeah. Side note, I feel bad for Will Ferrell. But that wraps up today. We got some games on tonight. I think two hockey and three NBA. So gonna have a easier slate for me to cover tomorrow. Love to see it. I have been working my tail off on these. So if you do watch it, I would really appreciate a like or a comment to let me know what you think about how I'm doing this so far. And some of your thoughts. I love to interact with you guys. But with that said, yep, I will talk to you tomorrow.